Well, good morning. Good morning, Miss Coco. Oh, are you gonna come see me? Are you gonna come see me? Hello. Hello, Missy. Yes, there are some things to chew on. So this is little Coco. Her eyes started off blue, but they have now turned. They're not going to be blue. That would have been really cool, but they are brown, like most goats. Yes, okay. Nothing comes out of that finger. You are a crack up, though. Mama Trico. Hello, Splat. How are your guys today? It rained last night, which is very strange to be raining here in February. It should be snowing. And it's not too cold, but there's a breeze, so it's a little bit nippy out. But not too bad. You guys look like you're doing pretty good. Yeah? Hi, guys. Coco is very insistent that somewhere on me there should be some food. Some milk should come out. Huh, Treacle? You know better, huh? But you have plenty. Oh, hello, Miss Zelle. Hello, Miss Zelle. Hello. And Zelle is doing just fine wearing her yoke. And she has stayed out of the pens. The animals are they're really spooky around her when she comes by. So clearly there was an issue. But she is not able to get in wearing this yoke. And I should mention too, so someone might ask, why don't you just fence it so that she can't get in? And this is where she gets in. She just goes right through that. And the reason that we don't fence it, part of the reason is because it's expensive, but the other reason is that I want Jackson to be able to get in here if we have a predator. He doesn't usually go through here, but he has and he can. And if a predator were to be in here, he needs to have access. Oh, look, a little baby goat action. So I do not want to make it so that the dogs are completely fenced out of here. So it's kind of we're having problems with her, and this chasing it's not super unusual. Leave her alone. She's fine. It's not super unusual with livestock guardian dogs at this age, but we're really going to hope that it resolves because it's a problem. Hi, guys. Hi, babies. Hello, little Iris. Hi, guys. Everybody looks good. Nobody got too wet last night. You guys must have gotten inside. Little Coco is going to be a handful. She headbutts me when I don't pay attention to her. And you can start to see on Acacia's ears, the tips are curling. And she does not like them to be touched, but they're hard. It must not feel, it must hurt. But you can see they're starting to crinkle. So she's probably going to lose. Well, she is going to lose. The end, this one especially, it's starting to get a little weird on the end, losing definition and getting a little like turning down. You guys are pests. Yeah, you're a pest, aren't you? So this is poor Polka. I know, who has she just can't tolerate the dust from the hay. So especially when she eats, and yes, I have consulted with my veterinarian about her. When it gets really dry here in the summer, sometimes some of the other sheep will start coughing like that, and I usually start feeding on the ground, and then it gets better. But Polka, particularly when she eats out of these fence feeders like this, like if the sheep are fed on the other side of the fence, so they put their head through the fence and eat on the ground, and she doesn't do it if she eats that way, but when she eats out of these fence feeders, which are really for the goats, she starts coughing like that. It's just, and I really like Polka, but I probably should sell her to someone who has pasture, because my sheep are in confinement and they really don't get out on pasture. We do have some lease pasture, but I put the sheep down there one summer, but the risk of predators is just too high, and I can't put the dogs down there. I just am afraid the fencing is not as good as it is here, and there's a lot of loose dogs in our area. And I mean, you know, if we had a pack of 6 dogs come in, my 2 livestock guardian dogs, actually my 1, because the younger dog is really not working yet, are no match for, you know, packs of dogs. So we keep them, we don't turn them out because of that. There's just, and we have a lot of small canids. We have mountain lions in the area, some bear. So it's just not worth it, because it's just a question of time before predators got in there. And so we don't turn them out. So Polka should probably go with someone who does have a pasture situation and hopefully has a safe situation. But I hate to sell her because I really like her, but she obviously doesn't do well on hay year round. What are you doing, Coco? Being wild? What do you think, goats? The sheep are about a month out from lambing, so hopefully this afternoon, if it doesn't rain or snow more, we need to vaccinate the ewes. This ewe right there, Tina, is not, she's hopefully pregnant, but she's not due yet, not until later on. She had fall lambs, nobody else did, so she's on a different schedule. But like this right there, that's a ewe lamb, so she doesn't really show. But some of my older lambs, like that one in the back there, and some of these big girls, they're starting to show. And they're actually just, this next month is when the lambs will really gain weight. But some of them are already pretty big, so, but say we're still about 4 weeks out. But I'm just trying to pour the feed to them as much as I can. But anyway, hopefully this afternoon we will vaccinate, do their CD&T vaccine, so that we've, oh, Coco, Jack, some. Be nice. Hopefully then they have antibodies when the lambs have antibodies when they're born, then, which holds them until we can get the lambs vaccinated. There's just a lot of action out here today. What are you doing, Treacle? Running around. I switched hay bales, so they're not very happy with the new hay bale. The last one was almost straight alfalfa, but I only have one more bale that's second cuttings, which is almost straight alfalfa. So they're a little spoiled. They're not liking this new stuff because they're having to pick through it to get the alfalfa, and they're not wanting to eat the grass, so they're all a little cranky. And those 2 ewe lambs right there are 2 that I bought, and I'm not super impressed with them. The one that just walked past, I like her, I'll keep her, but the other one is number 26, who's the really loud one that's just nervous and makes a lot of noise all the time. I like the build better, like on this one is, now see, Zelle likes the livestock, but she also likes to chase them. This is a ewe lamb that we raised here. That's Tina's. And that's her auntie Polka. But those 2 ewe lambs, they're over a year old. They were January, February lambs, but I'm just not real happy. They're kind of leggy and scrawny, and like I said, I really don't like the one. The one stirs everybody up big time. So I will sell her when she lambs. The rest I've gotten. That ewe her name is Inej, and I bought her, and she took quite a while to adjust, and she was also really noisy last year. She's now 2, or almost 2. But she has settled down, and she's turned into a nice ewe. That's Polka there with the red ear tag. And this is a ewe that is, she's meat breed, so she's a St. Croix Katahdin Dorper cross, and those are like a heavier meat breeds. And she's still a little spooky. She hasn't been here all that long, but she's a nice ewe. She's just sort of naturally calm, so she'll get more and more settled as she gets older. Look at the goats and the sheep all together. This is Rowan, who's one of that's Tina's lamb that we raised. She's super mellow. And then that big ewe there that's pretty pregnant is Matilda, who's also one of, some of these are just a lot smarter than others. Like Matilda is pretty smart, Rowan's pretty smart, Tina is smart. You are not smart. That's another ewe lamb I bought this past year, and she's pretty sorry looking. The situation was not good, the sheep were not in good shape, they were super stressed, and so I bought 2 ewes from there, but I think her mother probably had some pretty serious deficiency, malnutrition, and so this ewe lamb has just looked awful. I got her when she was about 3 months old, but she has no muscle development. She's just really scrawny. Well, then look at who's out here. Miss Magnolia, did you decide to come out here where you can get better access to the hay? That's a good idea. Yeah, look. See, babies can just come get in the feeder. Yeah. Magnolia had a little bit of diarrhea, but it only seemed to last about 24 hours. And I think what happened is that she got into I saw some of the babies getting into, I think they got into the molasses mineral block that was out here. I think they discovered it, and I think that's probably what happened, because I noticed she was sampling it, and then now it's mostly gone, so they seem to have lost interest in it. There's still just a little bit left. What are you doing, Treacle? Are you having a bit of mineral? Oh, you're standing in the mineral. Oh, I see. You're trying to go the route that Magnolia is going here and get to the hay. I'm about to put some more hay out for the sheep, so hopefully they'll go over there and give the goats their feeders. So this is how I'm currently feeding these ewes. And see, they have a fence feeder here, but like I was saying, just a number of them at times, especially when it's dry, have a hard time when they eat out of those. It makes them cough from the dust from the hay. And this hay is not very dusty, but just, it's hay, so it's dried stuff. And this hay it's some good stuff. It's got quite a bit of alfalfa. It's a grass alfalfa mix. Sheep don't generally like the long stems a whole lot, especially the alfalfa stems, but there's quite a bit of leaf in there. But sheep, there's feeders over there, which I've kind of stopped using. We have a number of those, but they waste so much hay because they get in there, and it's hard to build a feeder that they just can't get into. It's not that hard, but we don't have any. So this way they eat off the ground, which seems to help with the coughing, and it keeps the waste down because the hay is not actually in the pen with them. So, and they do pull some of it in there, but and I feed all along this fence line, so they have plenty of space. There's only 15 ewes in here, so they've got plenty of room, and you can see where they've pulled some of the hay in there. But they do end up wearing a little bit of hair. You can see on her there's it wears the hair down a little bit, but nobody has a sore or anything. Hi, sweetie. I know you're very pregnant and you wish I would go away. That's Matilda, and that's Lucinda, my other really big girl. These are 2 with braids. These are actually all these. So Tina, Matilda, Lucinda, Polka all have braids. Like, they're just smarter. They all came from the same producer. And then I have 2 ewe lambs, one out of Tina and one out of Matilda. Polka last year had a single ram lamb. Not sure why. She only had a single. She had doubles the year before. And Lucinda, I sold her ewe lamb. I wish I hadn't. But we just couldn't keep them all. But anyway, these are kind of the brains of the outfit here. But anyway, like I said, this seems to work, pretty well for feeding the sheep. It's cut down on the waste quite a bit. I'd like to have a little bit better spacing, but that'd be something that we would work on in the future for having some better feeders. The nice part of it too is that it's out of the pen, so it gives them a little more space in the pen. But say this works pretty well, especially works for the ewe lambs. Obviously it works for the baby goat. Some of the larger ewes, it's a little bit harder, but like the black belly ones, like that's Luna there on her knees. They just get down on their knees and go to it. Diamond there is a little bit bigger, like a little bit harder for her to get her head through the fence. And we have been using ear tags. Like this is Rowan, who's one of our ewe lambs from last year. But I'm not a big fan of the ear tags because they do get pulled off in the fence. It seems like especially with our males. The females, I don't think anybody's pulled a tag, but our males, like almost all of them have gotten their tag, pulled their tag out. And we haven't had any, I mean, obviously they have, you know, their ears torn from it. Nobody's had an infection or anything, you know, that was too bad, but I'm sure it doesn't feel good. And of course, just then there goes our identification. So I'd like to try a different, I'd like to do the chips, honestly, so that we have a better system for identification. What are you guys doing? So I had our stock trailer / barn cleaned out. It was drying out pretty good, and then it rained last night. And it must have been windy because there's water all the way up front there. So hopefully it'll dry out. We'll need this for our next round of kidding, and I am almost done with the grain that's up front. And then when that's done, I'll pull that hay out of there, and then we'll have the front as a separate stall from this area back here. We can put 2 females back here. We try to find some kind of barrier. We've used hay bales in the past, but it's not great with the big goats because they jump on them and push them over, which can squish babies. So we won't do that again. And this, for, you know, small number of animals like we have, this works okay as our barn. It would be lovely to have a nice barn, but they are expensive to build. So until that time, we just try to stagger we try to lamb and kid late enough to where we don't need, you know, the females don't need to be inside, but we do have this, you know, so we can fit at least 3 different mamas in here. It depends, because if it's sheep or the smaller goats, especially sheep you can separate by using, you know, barriers, and the sheep don't mess with the barriers, so it's a little easier. Or sometimes they don't need to be separated either, like our sister goats. They don't mind being together when they have babies for that first 24 hours. But if they don't need to be inside, then we won't have them inside. They do have shelters outside, so if the weather is good enough, then we just bed the shelters really deep with straw, and they can be outside. But if it's cold, or if a mom needs more bonding time, it's nice to put them inside, especially goats who kind of don't have much control over their babies, or like first time ewe lambs. It's nice for them to have that time bonding. My older ewes, they really don't need it, and they prefer not to be inside. Same thing with the older goats. The older ewes have much better control over their lambs, like right from the beginning. They're in charge, the baby isn't, so they do fine outside. Oh, don't be mean. There's a pack of babies, don't be mean. Honey, just because that's not your baby. Hi, Splat. What are you doing? Splat and Splat are so much friendlier than they were. When they first got here, they were so scared. Now that they've had their babies, and I think they've figured out that we're not going to hurt them, and that we want to help them with their babies. Huh, yeah. Hi, Iris. Blaze came for a visit. So Blaze and Oreo were born in early October, and they never did get very friendly. They weren't handled a ton. We were kind of busy doing other stuff during that time, so they didn't get handled a ton, but Blaze sure is cute. Oh, Blaze. So these guys she's cuter than Oreo, and she's brown and white. Oreo's more almost black and white, and she has more black on her. But hi, sweetie. Blaze has always been more friendly. What you doing? But they never really did get to where they liked scratches much. They're still kind of standoffish. And their mother is friendly. Their mother is Chula, who has the lovely straight up horns. And they're also by Kurt, who all of our other little babies are by Kurt also. And all the other babies have been friendly from the start, but these two, just for whatever reason, were less so. But she has the funniest little pantaloons, little puffy. They're more long-haired like the dad than the other ones are so far, but we'll see, because the other ones are only 3 weeks old. Where's your mom? That's There's Magnolia. Where is she? You're out here all by yourself. There's Oreo. Hi, Oreo. How you doing, buddy? Oreo stick came off. Hi. Oh, you're being friendly today. And who's that? Coco. Coco. Hi, guys. It's little Iris. This guy doesn't have a name, but all these guys are pretty friendly. They all like scratches. Hi. You guys don't like to be scratched, though, huh? Oh, don't be mean. It's your little cousin. Don't be mean. Hi, Iris. See, you guys are all friendly and all come to say hi. It's Coco. Honey and Treacle being teenagers. There's just a lot more fighting and carrying on with those two than with the older does. Yeah, where's your mama? Where's Splot? Where is Splot? I actually haven't seen Splot. I need to go make sure she's in the right place. Better go find her. We found Splot. Or I did. They haven't yet. You guys, you look up. Don't be mean. Don't be mean, girls. Don't be mean. Ooh, look. Blaze is gonna let me scratch her. Oh, how you guys so friendly all of a sudden? Did you see all these other babies in here all the time getting scratches? All right, Splot's over here. Come on, buddy. Come on, girls. She's right here. There's Splot. Oh, she's kind of stuck. Hi, Splot. Your babies are looking for you, buddy. There she is. There she is. Yeah. There she is, Magnolia. There's Mama. Mama's just a tiny little thing when she's not pregnant with all three of you. Splot's like, I'm having some alfalfa leaf. Huh, yeah, are you gonna get friendly too? Bye, Splot. Where are you going? You guys found her and then she left again. That's not very nice, is it? And Splat. Splat is definitely the boss. And her kids are bigger than Splot's. You're the boss, aren't you, Splat? Yeah. Hi. So this guy's a wether, so he's castrated. And he's pygmy Nigerian dwarf. I doubt he'll get very big. And he's pretty friendly. He's cute. You little heathens. Hi, Jocko. Hi, buddy. Little Magnolia, Iris, little guy. And who's this? Oh, Coco, who's butting me in the leg, of course. Ouch! Ouch, mister! That hurted. Ouch! You got a sharp little chompers there. How you doing, Oreo? So the mamas got their sweet feed. I'll give them some oats and barley too. And you are a pest, and you too. And Miss Tina thinks she should be part of this because Tina, she had fall lambs, and she was the only ewe that got pregnant back in the spring after weaning, and so I had to just pull her out and grain her extra because she needed a lot more to eat than the other ewes that weren't pregnant and were just kind of hanging out. So she thinks she should be part of any sort of graining that happens. Look at you, you are just a pest. You are just pushy and pesty, aren't you? You're gonna be quite a handful. You're gonna be like birdie number 2. Yeah. Jackson, don't. He doesn't like it when they're out of the pen, but stop. But they're in here with me. He needs to leave them alone. And this is the result of baby goats in my grain room. Oats everywhere. Bad baby goats. No. No. So I'm getting grain. This is my makeshift grain room. So we have wheat and a little bit of oats left, and barley. And I do have a little bit of sweet feed for these mamas. But I was just grabbing some for the mama goats. And these guys decided to come investigate to see what I was doing. Yes, are we doing goat things there? Boy goat things? Or are you guys trying to get the grain? Yeah, don't knock that over. We'll go give it to you and your mamas.